Kamala will be securing the border for a photo op. VP Harris expected to visit the southern border in Arizona on Friday. It's the latest effort to spin Harris as the toughest son of a gun on illegal immigration. But every time Kamala the Hawk soars, a resurfaced video sends her crashing. The latest shows Harris protesting deportations way back in 2018.
Up with education, down with deportation. Up with education, down with deportation. Up with education, down with deportation.
Trump heard about Kamala's little trip and sees right through the BS.
After almost 4 years, border czar Kamala Harris has decided for political reasons that it's time for her to go to the border. She's trying to con the public that she did a good job at the border. When Kamala is seen at the border on Friday, she will pass hundreds of miles of wall that was built by Trump, and it's wall that really works.
So, Dana, she's weighing.
I know.
Weighing whether to go to the border. What a coincidence that it's coming upon an election that she cares. What say you?
It drives me a little crazy
Yes.
that they are crowdsourcing a decision about whether she should go to the border. I mean, for goodness sakes, you want to be commander in chief. Do you want to go to the border? Just tell them, and
Yes.
then you can go. I think that all day long having the Chiron at the bottom, weighing a decision. Should I go? Should I not?
Yeah.
Here's 3 reasons why she probably shouldn't go. It's too little, too late. She's already dismissed it as something that she doesn't need to do. Remember, she said, I didn't go to Europe. I've been to the border. It's fine. She doesn't care. Number 2, it reinforces President Trump's line, then why didn't you go before? Mm-hmm. You've been there for 3.5 years. Why didn't you do it before? And the third reason is she's not going to win over voters on the immigration in the next 42 days. So she could pick fights where she could win. That would be better. Most people do associate her with the failure at the border. Mm-hmm. And I think I know friends who have pulled that in their private polling for Republicans. I just imagine that they're seeing the same thing, which is why when she's in Arizona campaigning in that battleground state, then the questions are going to be, why aren't you going to the border? So she wants to say, I went to the border, but for all the reasons I just laid out, I don't think it's worth it.
So, Jessica, how ironic Kamala is trying to deport her past and build a wall between the voting public and the idiotic things she said in that very past.
Ironic indeed.
It is ironic. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you agree with me.
Like rain on your wedding day. I actually think that she should go. Mm-hmm. Just because even if there are drawbacks to it, you are sending a signal that this is of renewed importance to you. And I think that people who are maybe on the fence about her, or someone who, let's say, immigration is in their top 5, it might not be the absolute top issue to them, would consider that. She's cut into his lead on the border substantially. It's down 14 points from where it was. There have been all of these focus groups of swing state voters who know that Donald Trump was the one who killed the bipartisan border deal. That's something that's resonating in her favor. And there is a crisis moment going on for the Trump campaign around the Haitians in Springfield. And that he and J.D. Vance will not stop demonizing these legal immigrants who are here, who went to Springfield to take jobs. They needed to be filled. Governor DeWine has spoken out against it. The mayor of Springfield, who's also a Republican, has said, absolutely, please stop doing this. And Trump, he was even doing it last night. They got a chant going of send them back. Send them back where? These are Americans at this point.
How did they become Americans? We're talking about the ones that were just flown in?
How are they Americans?
No, they're not Americans. They don't have citizenship.
They're not citizens.
They're here legally. I'm sorry. They're not Americans. They're just legal.
It is an interesting scam. They're flying in. They're flying in thousands of people. They're flying them in. That lowers the wages. Everybody gets, and then the people there are paying. The taxpayers are actually paying for their lives getting screwed.
Right.
So I have to give. Go ahead.
But everyone, including the Republicans in charge, are saying that this was a good thing. The Republicans in Florida are saying that these are great people. That's where they came from.
We're not talking about the people. We're talking about the process. I have no doubt they're good people. I'm talking about the actual process.
So why is he saying I'll send them to Venezuela?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't hear him say that. Judge. The news about the sex and drug trafficking gets worse, and yet there's no specifics from Kamala about that. You have gangs coming over here who cannot be policed because the sanctuary status prevents cops and feds from doing anything.
Look, Whether you're talking sex trafficking, drug trafficking, or the economy, the woman is not going to do anything. She is basically telling the world, have at it in the United States. Cartels, you run the border, you're making billions, go for it. Because if she were, and she just can't stop talking about her prosecutorial chops. Well, you've got none. Everything about her is anti-prosecution. Decriminalize the border. Make sure that, you know what, if you're price gouging, we're not going to prosecute you for another 4 or 5 months. So have at it. And look, criminal migrants encountered in 2024, 15,000. That's the number we know of. In 2019, it was 4,000. This is what, if they answer the phone in the other country and they tell us that they're criminals. Here's the bottom line. What is she going to the border for? To apologize? She should apologize. She should apologize to America, for taxpayers. She should apologize to the families of those who've been harmed and injured and raped by illegals who have not been vetted. And she should apologize to those border agents when she was so quick to jump on the whipping story regarding the Haitians. All right, this is a woman who wants to decriminalize the border, and she can go there for whatever she wants to make believe about good vibes. She is responsible for what is happening in this country, to the economy, to jobs, to the increase in crime, the increase in taxes. We can't pay $10 billion in New York City alone. Nobody planned for that. We haven't planned for any of this. And yet she's not doing a damn thing.
You know, Jesse, or Jerk, he said I could call him a jerk today.
Yes.
The judge brings up the whipping story, which the media conveniently has forgotten. And let's not forget her embrace of Jussie Smollett. They're almost identical in the initial lapse in judgment that she seems to, like, express in every major thing. And then she just walks away.
She walked away from her job as border czar. I have the remarks right here. Joe Biden, I've asked her to lead our efforts to help stem migration to the southern border. Now, if you want to lead, you have to be able to follow orders. And she just didn't follow the order at all. She let 20 million illegal aliens into the country, Jessica. And then how many has she deported? Less than 1%. Why? Because she wants them to have amnesty so they can vote. That's the truth. If she wanted to clean these people out, she could, like Barack Obama did. She's lost 300,000 children. They're working in sweatshops. They're being sex trafficked. You know what the cartels are doing now? They're giving the kids drugs so they're more dozed off and compliant when they're smuggled. She's created a cartel bonanza. The cartels have never been this rich. People are being raped. They're being murdered at the border. She's never named Lake and Riley once in her entire life. This is destroying the fabric of neighborhoods here, destroying the fabric of small town America, because it happened way too fast and recklessly. It's impacting housing. It's impacting schools. It's impacting crime. It has to stop. And now she wants to give sex change operations to these people. She said it. I didn't. I don't know if you were watching football on Sunday, Jessica. Trump had a great ad. He quoted her as saying she wants sex changes for illegal migrants being detained. And he says, Kamala Harris is for they, them. I'm for you.
Good
I would
line.
have said she's for they, them, but not us.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Next Sunday.
You should write that ad.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.